Everyone, what's up? Oh, damn, we like start the live stream and then I like don't have a LaCroix. That's definitely not going to work. Oh, here we go. What's up? Hi, everyone. Welcome back. 4 people in. Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope everyone had a supremely safe holiday. We're gonna go through some runway shows. Does that sound good? I found this book recently that I'm super excited about. The good folks at Rizzoli are the ones responsible for this little gem. But I don't know if anyone's seen this before, but it's just like the spectacle of fashion. And it's just literally a bunch of different, really, really famous runway shows throughout the years. What's up, Natalia? Hi. Aeon checks. What's up, Hugo? Hi, everybody. Yeah, really, really gorgeous book that's literally just all of, it's a very wide variety of very high quality photography of not even like the most famous runway shows, but just like runway shows that are thought provoking, like the kind of stuff that we tend to focus on here on the channel. Stuff that I am super excited about. Oh man, everybody like suddenly popped in all of a sudden. Hello, everyone. Hello, Jesus. Oh, Jesus, I've missed you. What up, Dylan? I did have a good Thanksgiving. Just kind of like hung here, like with my family. We went to the beach with it was me and my immediate family. Everybody that I'm quarantining with anyway. It was quite good. I liked it a lot. So we are going to go ahead and drain. I don't even know what's the drain. I don't know what the drain like symbol. I don't know what the gang sign for drain gang is. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get cracking. I'm really excited to show you guys this book. This is a really pretty one. So and this is super exciting. So we have new tech in the studio over here. We got the new shit to to check out books with. Do y'all remember during Stream Week we had like the most like brutally complicated way of me showing you books, where I had like many like boxes set up and stuff, and I had like one of my mom's like cooking grills that I had laid across it so that like the phone could be placed on top of it to look down. Okay, so no more. Now we have some very advanced, very expensive tech, which is this. And that's how we're going to look at the book on the ground. Very expensive tech. You can see there's a holder here to hold it to a table, and then there's a bar, and then there's a very advanced device here to hold the phone. So we've really invested in the tech over here to make this happen. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Okay. LaCroix isn't paying me yet, so get this shit out of here. Okay. Yeah, huge tech upgrade, guys. Don't listen, guys, I want it to be really clear. You do not have to spend $19.98 in order to run a YouTube channel. Like, I want you guys to understand that like you can do this without having to spend a cool $20 plus shipping and handling for the tech. Oh, Isaiah, I like your profile picture. So as always, Rizzoli is very extra with the cover. We have two dust covers, or it's a single. Ooh, it's a single dust cover. Look, hang on. Let's see. Let's check out this dust cover first. Dust cover goes fucking crazy. I didn't even know. I didn't even know that that's what that shit did. The dust cover is a glossy poster, y'all. That's the real deal. Damn. Real stuff. Okay. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Huge. Anyone know off rip what that is? Anyone know what we're looking at? So we might go back. We might go back through this book a second time. I've accumulated a lot of really excellent fashion books very cheaply recently. And so we actually have like a lot of stuff that I want to show y'all. And hey, what up, David Nee? First man back on the Patreon. First live stream in a long time. David is the motherfucker bringing us home with the Patreon. Thank you so much, David. I really appreciate it, man. And yeah, that's how this shit happened. Oh, Ronan, what's up? I miss you, dog. What's up, Ronan Scar? I miss Ronan real bad. Ronan makes really sick clothes. This is Chanel. I'm pretty sure this is Chanel. I don't know, Joseph. Where do I cop the cheap books? Joseph is asking. It's kind of all over the place. Basically, what I do is when I'm reading about fashion, I just pay attention to when they reference other books, and I pay attention to when fashion books that I already own are referencing other fashion books. And when they do, oh, thank you, Andy. It's Dior. Thank you. Yeah, that actually does look like Dior. I pay attention to when they're referencing other fashion books. And when they do, I just check really quickly to see if that book is available on like eBay or Thrift Books, or there's some other source. Hi, Arline. Arline, my love. Hello, Arline. I see if anybody has it for really cheap super quickly, and then I just immediately either cop it. I mean, this one, I think I found it for $18, and it's pretty used. It's got a little bit of wear on it, but to me, that doesn't really matter. If it's a hardcover book, it's probably going to be really hardy. I don't particularly care. But yeah, that's typically how I found them. And then, if something is like, or really even if a book is like $50 or something, unless it's like a crucial Margiela book that I need, or, we've started doing more Rick Owens stuff lately, which did y'all know a third Rick Owens episode is being edited currently? Like we're going to go ahead and take the plunge on Rick Owens. The Margiela series is continuing as per usual, but we are going to go like full gi on Rick Owens as well. We're going to start doing a lot more with his work because there is just too much there to ignore it, to not like really dive into it. And yeah, Ronan said there's so many fashion books that I don't even know about, and that's incredibly true. There's a ton that I don't know about, but you find out about them by just once you start looking into them, then you start to find more stuff. Who's ready? I do not have Ray Kawakubo's Met Gala book. That's another big one that I have on my list. What's up, Daniel? Okay, so very Sarah Mower. You had to be a witness. So this book, Ronan asked what this book is about. This book is just highlighting major moments in runway history. This is an interesting note to start out on. We're starting on Isaac Mizrahi, who I feel like the amount of like public conversation about Isaac Mizrahi has like reduced substantially in the past like 10 years. But I started recently on Isaac Mizrahi's autobiography, and it's great. Like I'm on a big kick now reading fashion biographies. I'm listening to them all because I figured out that I had an Audible account that was just running for like a year and a half, and I didn't know about it. And so I like opened up an Audible account to like be like, oh, I really want to get Andre Leon Talley's biography. I'm going to look into that. And then I opened up my Audible account and was like, holy shit, there's 15 months worth of credits in this account right now. So I went crazy, and I just started like consuming like a new book every like 5 days on Audible. So I'm just like reading through just a ton of stuff. And Andre's is great, but I kind of already knew that Andre's was going to be really good because Andre, like, since he was very young, he was purposefully honing his writing craft. So like, you read a biography that is written, an autobiography that's written by a writer in the first place, it's going to be really good. But there's been some, and I don't feel like there's any need to like bash particular people's autobiographies, especially while they're still living. That seems a little mean. But there's been a few that have been pretty disappointing, and some of that might just be because everyone's life doesn't have to be the most fascinating thing ever. That's just fine. Isaac Mizrahi's is great, and it's very well written. It is very, very compelling. Most biographies, I honestly skip the part about their childhoods because they weren't doing anything when they were 15 years old that I give a shit about. So I'm usually skipping like high school age when they're just like, people were mean to me because I was creative. And it's like, yeah, tell me about it. That happened to me too. And just kind of like skip through all that. But Isaac's it's really compelling. It's been super good. But anyway, does anyone like would anyone say before like this little conversation that we were having right here, would anyone be like, oh, I love Isaac Mizrahi, like I like have followed his stuff and I know about like his older runways, or are most people just kind of like, yeah, I'm not really, I've heard the name but I'm not really familiar. He did have he did have a Target collection. Unfortunately. Yeah. Target got him. Anyway, Isaac Mizrahi. Oh man. Very pretty one right there. We're off to a good start. Yeah, that's a really beautiful one right there. I think what we're going to do is we're going to kind of just walk through this book. Y'all better know what this is. I think we're going to walk through this this book today and just kind of slowly like mosey through and talk about stuff and whatever. And then oh hey, yeah, can we have a couple soldiers in the chat kind of communicate what book this is for the people that come in? Anybody who's planning on sticking around for a while, if you could just sort of remember that this is The Spectacle of Fashion. And it's a Rizzoli book. That'll get it, even if you can't remember Alex's name. The Spectacle of Fashion. For anybody who asks over the next little bit, if you could just like fill them in. Yeah, you'll better know what this one is. This is one of the better contemporary runway shows that I can think of off top. I would bring that one up for sure. But I think we're gonna go back through this at some point and do like a game where we you have to name off the top of your head the designer, because I think for some things like this one it will be kind of hard. And then for things like this, it might not be so hard. Oh man. Vape Nation. Yeah, guys, I'm getting in my new vape next week. That's the size of a moving box. It's gonna be really epic. Get some epic, rip some epic clouds. Vape Nation. The thing that's really cool to me about most Issei Miyake shows is that the way that they're set up, it doesn't even seem possible for them to do it without rehearsing it like a play, or like a usually there's so much choreography in them that there's no way they weren't doing extensive rehearsals beforehand. And so that poses an interesting challenge for the casting director, because they probably can't get very many hype models in there if there's a lot of rehearsal that's necessary. And so that kind of brings us over to something that I think needs to be incorporated into more runway fashion, which is bringing in actors and dancers and just people who are not by default fashion people. And especially Issei's setup, it kind of necessitates not necessarily just like normal people, which is a lot of people's solution. It's like, oh, well, we're not going to use models, we're going to use normal people, which is great. That's awesome. Street casting is cool. But to me, it's like there are so many runway shows that would be better served, especially ones that are trying to get kind of cinematic and trying to sort of do like a one-act play sort of thing. I think they would be greatly served by getting actors. Like the Swalk videos. Has anybody seen the Swalk videos, the new Margiela stuff, the Sealed with a Loving Kiss? Miss Tyler, this is the book is called The Spectacle of Fashion. It's a Rizzoli book. My comment soldiers are letting me down over here. Yeah, the SWAT videos are really incredible. I love those so much. There are pieces of the SWAT videos that I think would have been better served for John to, or John's casting director rather, to keep the muses, because John has a lot of muses, a lot of younger men and women and just like people that are just inspiring, like club kids from around like London and Paris and stuff. Like he keeps them around for that energy, the muse energy. And but then when kids that are just like club kids that are fashion people, they're not necessarily good actors. So for the parts of the Swalk videos where I forget what his muses' names are, he has like two or three that have been his muses for a number of years now, and I can't remember those young men's names. But those guys, there were parts of it that were just a touch bit corny. And I think the corniness was mostly due to the fact that this guy who was being told, like, okay, you have to kind of like sort of be like dancing with this object or something. Like you have to kind of look like you're going crazy a little bit. Like when they're given commands like that, they can stand still for a photo and get a good picture taken. But when it comes to like being on video and doing and moving in a certain way, I feel like it would be smarter to be casting some actors or some dancers or somebody. I feel like it could carry it a little bit better. Anyway, I feel like this runway setup that Issei does is it kind of calls for that. It sort of necessitates like we have to go find dancers from like around where does Issei show? Is it in? I guess it's in Paris. We have to go like find like Paris ballet dancers, etc., etc. Oh, nice. Y'all getting a group chat going? Good work. Good work. Oh yeah, one of Andy. Yeah, I don't know if. Thank you. Andy said, "Are you talking about the Margiela model Leon Dame with the corky walk?" Yeah. So Leon is definitely one of those people. I don't think it was Leon because I see that video gets recommended to me all the time, and I don't think it was Leon that was the one that. Because the second swalk video, it has this part where this guy has a pair of heels. He has like a pair of kitten heels that are meant to, for tango dancing, and he's dancing and he's holding the shoes and he's like acting all like obsessive and kind of Gollum from Lord of the Rings like with the shoes. And I don't think it was Leon. Yeah, Leon's walk is very mold breaking. Very mold breaking. Yeah, Leon does a good job. He's very all in with what he does. I have not been to Antwerp. I would love to go to Antwerp. I was thinking about moving to Antwerp at one point, but that did not work out. Yeah, so people, Oleg said that he's considering going to the Royal Academy in Antwerp. Can you say anything about this school? I get asked this a lot about different fashion schools and like people wanting to know like what school they should go to and if they should consider like going to this school over that school and whatever. I don't have any specific advice about different schools because I just don't know much about them. My general advice that I try to give to as many people as I can is that it's I strongly would discourage you from ruining your life with debt. That's all. That's the only thing there. Now, if you happen to be very blessed and be in a situation where it's like, oh, mom and dad are really supportive, or like grandma's really supportive, or I had an uncle that very tragically died but left me a lot of money or something, then like, hello, Blake Shelton. Oh my gosh, guys, Blake Shelton in the chat. Wow, Mr. Shelton. I love your country music, sir. Oh, geez. Hi, Blake. Then that's great. Like, more power. That's awesome. Very blessed. Be sure to always keep in mind that you were given a great deal of help from other people. I was given a little bit of help on college from family and stuff. Not It wasn't all covered, and I certainly was not up there with all of the scholarship kids for a lot of stuff. But yeah, I would just the only thing that I would say is like, yeah, look into the Royal Academy. Antwerp obviously that's a very well known school. Everyone in fashion knows about that school. It's like CSM and all the other ones. If you're an American, I would, especially if you live in Virginia, I would strongly encourage you to look into VCU because VCU is a public university, and if you can get scholarships and like state funding and stuff to go there, then you're gonna get an awesome fashion education. I like worked with some of the like professors at VCU. I didn't go there, but you get a great fashion education at VCU. Lots of resources, people with industry connections and stuff, and that's great. You don't have to go out of state if you live in Virginia. Also, I think, guys, is SCAD a public school? I think SCAD might be a public school. But anyway, you don't NYU, Parsons, and CSM and the Royal Academy at Antwerp, these are not the only options, is all I'm going to say. And I mean, if you're in a situation where you're like, I would basically be taking on all of the debt for like my college education, guys, please do not leave college and owe like $90,000. I beg of you. That's it's really hard to fully understand how much that will hurt you in your adult life. So what I'm not saying is that you can't go to fashion school and that like there's no way to do this or whatever. What I'm saying is don't take the route of going in there and just saying, well, I know this will work out. I'm sure I'll get to work at like a major house and I'm sure I'll be making like $130,000 really quickly. And then I'll just kind of live modestly for 2 years and I'll just pay it all off. Like that plan almost for sure is not going to go through the way that you think it's going to go through. So, yeah, and I mean, hey, like I by no means like am like a debt-free person. I'm actually like working towards that and will hopefully like be solidly in debt-free zone by the end of 2021 or mid 2022. But which is like extremely exciting. But yeah, try to maintain a similar philosophy with like credit card stuff. There is almost no emergency that should be pushing you into credit card debt. If you're eating any food from a restaurant, if you're able to go out even once, like, I mean, nothing should be pushing you onto credit cards. Buy your phone with cash. Try to drive a shitty car. I drive a shitty car. I drive such a shitty car. Y'all have no idea. Like it wasn't shitty when I got it, but like I have held on to a car that I have almost 300,000 miles on my car. I have and I put those miles on it. It's not good. You don't want to see the car, Jonah. It's okay. You're not interested in the car. It's fine. It's a 2006 Civic, which are incredible cars. Like I've loved that car. I still love that car. The inside of it looks like a spaceship. I love Civics. But yeah, I've driven that car much longer than most other people who are 31 would consider to be an okay period of time to drive a car, because I don't want to get another car unless I can pay for it with cash. And so that means that I'm limited to a pretty cheap used car, which is okay. You don't have to be balling in every single capacity of your life. Get the used clothes drip, and then on everything else, live very modestly. That's my philosophy. Wow, this one's great. Look at that. It's beautiful. Blake said, show the car now. Yo, guys, let's do the damn thing. Patreon.com/BlissFoster. Let's pop that in there. Ooh, that's a great idea. This is cool to me because it's emphasizing moments where outfits get noticed. Oh man, Josh said popping my Patreon cherry. Good for you, Josh. Hang on, let me pull up my Gmail so I for sure don't miss any new additions to the Patreon. Just pull this up right quick. All right, bet. So I really like this specific photo because this is one where we're seeing the place where outfits get noticed. A lot of times people do not get their outfits noticed because they are, you know, standing in a very lookbook ready pose and like seeing the full like head to toe outfit kind of thing. This is one where like we're saying that it's like, yeah, like when someone is like arriving on a train, this is like the part of the outfit that's seen. And like this is sort of emphasizing like the snatch of a moment that like this is the kind of stuff that makes people like fall in love with other people, is seeing stuff from this kind of perspective. Yeah, Mark is obviously a god. Mark Jacobs. He's the man. Ooh, does anyone recognize this? We haven't gotten there yet, but it's our boy Marty. I can't wait for us to get to this show. This is going to be really excellent. I'm not sure exactly what season it is, Anthony, but I imagine you're probably correct. Yeah, the train car season. Not a great review from Vogue. I remember I like went back into the archives and I looked up Vogue's old review for this, and it was not very flattering, which is hilarious because a lot of Vogue's, if you look up archival shows from Vogue, they have redacted their old review, and they've replaced it with more of a retrospective kind of review that more talks about like why this was influential. Oh my gosh. Joseph Gordon-Levitt over here is like, oh damn, look at that hat. That hat is a big paper flower. Oh damn, oh damn. I was watching some anime last night. I like got into the Ghibli stuff that's not Miyazaki, and I watched Whisper of the Heart. Has anybody seen Whisper of the Heart? That was pretty compelling stuff. I liked it. A little too much singing for my preference. I don't like it when there's singing in anime because then I can't watch it in the background effectively. If there's music on, I get distracted. But if it's just people like quietly talking about like, oh, like, well, it turns out my cat can talk. I never knew cats could talk. Oh my goodness. What? It turns out I can fly. Oh my goodness. So many things about my life are changing. That's all I want anybody to say in any anime. Hey Duke, it's all good. I would obviously never fault anybody for having to unsub because of like funds issues. I've definitely been there myself. You're all good, homie. The likes and the shares, and honestly, like just personal recommendations, that's like a huge free way to help the channel, is like if you just like hit somebody up and say like, yo, this person like kind of helped me to understand this runway show better. You should watch this. Also, guys, I mean, if I could be super real with you real quick. Also, yeah, actually, Mesarome, that's a really good point. Supporting creators at the age of 14, a fucking legend. I think, regardless of the unsubscribe, Duke, yeah, seriously, shout out to you. That's brilliant. I don't know what I was doing at 14, but it was not making conscious decisions with my money to support things that I love. That was not what I was doing at 14. Good on you, bro. But yo, someone someone needs to go join the motherfucking Patreon. You need to get in there. Patreon.com/BlissFoster. It takes like 2 minutes to sign up. Ooh, that's compelling looking. I like that. Oh man, we got Blake Shelton on the Patreon. Blake, you can join our new $100 a month club with all that sweet country music money. Ellie Thompson says that they have 20 gigabytes of fashion pics on their computer. This may be a poor expenditure of space. Yeah, you need to get on some cloud stuff. I think you might need to start a Pinterest account or something. That's rough. I hope you have those fairly well labeled or at least categorized a little bit. The God. When are you coming to Dubai? That's a great question. If you can get Blake Shelton to start siphoning some of that country music money over to the Patreon, then I can be coming to Dubai next week, man. Somebody help us out. I'm terrible on McQueen stuff. What collection is this specifically from? This is one of the main pictures from whatever collection it is, so it shouldn't be super hard to find it. Like maybe even if you just Googled McQueen like crucifix mask, you could probably find it. Oh, thank you, Dante. Thank you, NT. Oh, and y'all, so you may have noticed that like we're now getting into the, oh my, it's a little upsetting. This is not Carol, but this looks very Carol right here. Another way, hey, so for everybody who is not able to support the Patreon directly, because I mean, guys, there's some people literally who are just like, I live in a country where like PayPal is, or like where you can't do things like Patreon, not even PayPal, but like you literally, like Patreon is banned in my country. I have tons of viewers from, I think, oh dang, I have so many viewers over there. What's the name? Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is one, like a big one where like just the government's like locked down things like Patreon. They just can't use it. And so like I've gotten reached out to by a ton of people who were like, I want to support you so bad, but I looked into it. I don't even have an alternate way of doing this. Like, I'm so sorry. I really would like to. I love your stuff. And I'm like, man, that's no worries. And the thing that I always tell them is like, the thing that you can do is like, if the ads are turned on, I don't know if, I mean, a lot of y'all are pretty savvy, so y'all probably already know this, but a thing that you can do is when the ads come up, which, you know, ads are not like preferable, but you know, gotta make money somehow. YouTube is my job, so it's kind of part of it. When the ads come up, let the ad run through. Like, don't press skip ad. Just like pull the ad up, let the ad run all the way through. Let the second ad run all the way through, and then if you can, just like click on the link. Even if you're not getting anything, just click on the link that is being advertised to you. Just open the link. That is extremely helpful. Hey, appreciate you, Luke. Have a good one. So yeah, if you're unable to join the Patreon, goat pussy. That's hilarious. I assume, no, I guess it's not the Pussy Riot Girls because they're not wearing the masks. But I imagine this has got to be inspired by Pussy Riot. But yeah, if you're not able to support the channel like through like literal funds, a really excellent way of doing that is to watch them ads all the way through. What up, Saint Hundred? What up? Saba said, I mean, I wish you'd take my money. I'm down, homie. I'm down. Yeah, Ellie asked any other good fashion YouTubers. I mean, yeah, Luke is a really smart person. Haute Mode is obviously a really excellent channel. That's what most people know. Loic is obviously really good. The Fashion Archive, he's a super smart guy. Anthony DeLuca is an incredibly smart guy, and he's like an incredibly nice person. Like Anthony DeLuca is my buddy. He's an awesome dude. I will forever stan Anthony. Anthony DeLuca is really great. Reggie Casual is a very smart person. Reggie is great. Loic is great because like nobody has access the way that Loic has. Like the level of access that Loic is able to have to this different stuff is pretty unparalleled. It's tough to compete. I mean, I personally, if I had that kind of access, I would probably be doing it a little bit differently. But Loic is about like creating really beautiful backstage videos of runway stuff, and I mean, nobody has the kind of access that he does. It's quite admirable. It's cool stuff. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having that kind of access someday. I think it'll happen. This is kind of an unusual one. Is this how the show was done? Like, is it just everybody in leotards and the collection clothes are just like on the floor? That would be kind of nuts. Oh, and Karsten, obviously. Karsten's another smart dude. Karsten Kronig. He runs guys, what's his meme account? It's probably easier to find him through that because Karsten Kronig is sort of a hard name to type in there. Is it Meme Saint Laurent? Yeah, Meme Saint Laurent is probably the easiest way to find Karsten stuff. But Karsten is, first of all, an incredibly nice guy and like also very knowledgeable. And Karsten wants to, I mean, Karsten, Reggie, Anthony, like Luke, like Loic, like all of the big thing that I like about that is that those guys, especially the ones that I've met, which would be like Anthony, Reggie, Karsten, Anthony, Reggie, Karsten. Who am I forgetting? I always forget one. These guys really they want to do it correctly. Like they are in it and they're like, I don't want to make clickbait. I don't want to just make like silly throwaway content that lots of people are going to click on and that I'll get ad dollars from. Like they want to help people understand because they themselves want to understand, which to me that's what I mean. Why even be a critic if that's not your goal? Like I don't know. That to me is what I'm looking for in other YouTubers that I watch, and those guys they're very all over it on that. They're very thorough. They want to do it right. Also, did anybody see that video that Karsten was featured in where the former model was making fun of his outfit? Like they just brought him on there so that this like middle-aged woman could just like toast him. And she was being pretty I don't know. It moved beyond the realm of we're having fun here and like moved into just kind of like, damn, that's kind of a shitty thing to say, like really quickly. He like comes on with her and like, Karsten is an incredibly nice person. And Karsten just like walks on there and it's like, hey, what's up? Doing okay. How are you doing? And she's like, okay, tell me what you're wearing here. And he was like, I got on pretty cozy fit. I think he was wearing like Issei and like Comme des Garçons en plus. And he was like, he told her what he was wearing. He was like, it's some pretty crazy pants over here. I really like this outfit a lot. And she was like, I think you look very comfortable. And I think that you need to stay comfortable inside your house. and that maybe you shouldn't bring that comfort outside with the rest of us. And but like, it was the goofiest thing ever because it was just kind of like I'm never down to just go around on the internet and like be like, your outfit looks like trash. Your outfit looks like trash. Like that's never what I think other people or myself like ever need to do. But like for anyone who is going to stand in front of another person and be like, yo, your outfit is trash, had better be wearing some fucking sick clothes. And this woman was not wearing fucking sick clothes. She was wearing just some like H&M like dress thing. And it was just like, lady, I am not sure where the fuck you get off. And then, okay, like Karsten, she apparently said some like other crazy shit to Karsten that didn't get included in the final cut, which is why Karsten got a little upset near the end of it. Totally understandable. Also, she just was super rude to him in the first place. So like, yeah, Karsten is not bad guy in that video at all. But like the next guy comes in and the dude was like he wasn't fat at all. Like I tried to watch the full video and I just turned it off because I was like, this is trash. Like I don't even understand why this video was made. But like the dude that came in after Karsten was not a fat guy at all. He was like a dude who was like, his body type was just like a little bit bigger. He was very like broad chested and stuff. Like I don't know, he looked like a normal dude to me. And she just like told him like, people would like you better if you weren't fat. And it was just like, dude, what the fuck? Like, this is insane. How is this lady being allowed to? And it was just a random video that the cut uploaded it. And the cut, I mean, I honestly, that was very disappointing. It was a very disappointing video. Honestly, guys, like there's no reason to go watch it. Watching it is hate watching stuff is kind of what hate watching is the reason that people continue to make content like that, is because if we can just like push the border a little. I mean, this is why like who's the fucking like Keemstar? Like the whole reason like Keemstar is able to exist is because like half of his views are just people like logging in to be like, oh yeah, someone said this guy is such an asshole. I'm gonna see how much of an asshole he is. Like don't encourage it by going and viewing the shit. Like just leave it alone. It's not worth it. That stuff like that, especially from like respectable fashion publications, I have no idea why stuff like that would be made. How did they get this picture from my father's runway show? Dad? Legend. Bloody legend. Oh, more bloody legends. Oh man. Shit folds out. Look at that. It's all there. It's pretty cool. Man, I love that. The whole thing. Oh my gosh. Very intense. Very intense. I'm not even sure I know what this is from, but I love that. All right, Saint 100, go eat food. Oh my. This looks like a very safe version of that one Rick show. Very safe. Oh, this I recognize right away. There's McQueen. Apparently, is that McQueen? I think this is the McQueen like merry-go-round one. I can't remember if this is or not. It might not be. Either way, the McQueen merry-go-round runway show, he went to a fashion critic and like directly after the show, and he was like, hey, so what'd you think of the show? And they were like, well, Lee, I loved it. Like, I mean, you always do beautiful work, man. I was stunned. Like, I would never miss your shows. This is such a treat. He complimented Lee on the show, and then Lee said, I think it's my best one so far. Do you think it's the best one so far? Which is a dangerous question to ask a critic on the spot. That's probably never going to go well for anybody. But he said, like, I think it's my best show so far. Do you think it's the best one? And he was like, well, best one. I don't know if it's my favorite one. Again, I liked it. I don't know if it's my favorite. And Lee apparently was devastated. He was completely torn up that like this guy would not on the spot acknowledge that it was the best show he'd ever done. Oh, we know about this one, y'all. Man, I honestly like, yeah, Ellie's right. Ellie said Lee came to fight that day. Like Lee always kind of came to fight, which I hate. I hate that. Ugh. Hey, okay. So Daniela, thank you. She said that's your best Margella ep so far. Love I love this season. The Margella episode that is coming out next, which is going to be the next video that gets released, is like you guys have no idea. It is the next one that's coming out is actually the best Margella show that we've done so far. It's crazy. The level of like, so the thing that initially made me get really, really deep into Margella was someone who made a loose comment on a forum at some point and just said, I love Martin Margella's work. The level of storytelling in those clothes goes so deep. And the comment went on to say, even in the stitching sometimes, there is purposeful narrative and storytelling. It is a bottomless ocean of meaning. And he didn't go into any more detail about that. And I actually DM'd him a whole bunch and was like, oh my gosh, please, 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 tell me what you mean. Tell me what you mean. And I couldn't get any more information out of him. But that was the thing that sparked initially my interest in Margella. So not this one, not the one that's currently out. This was a great one. But the next episode that's coming out from Margella is one where we kind of, where I think that statement is true. Where it's just kind of like, wow, the level of depth of storytelling here is unbelievable. It's crazy. This is, guys, help me out. This is why I never like ended up doing well in history, is because I would be like, oh yeah, that happened in like the 16th century, right? And people would be like, that happened in the 18th century, Bliss. Dumbass. I don't remember what season this is. Wow, that's great. I don't even think we have to like guess. Even if his name was covered up, like it would just be like, it can only be one man. Supreme tackiness. Have y'all seen the new Jeremy Scott, the Moschino video for the puppet collection? Because it is hilarious. Like Jeremy Scott, like himself, is walking up to this puppet show stand where there's like a bunch of like very complex marionettes. They did their quarantine runway show was using marionettes, very like beautifully made marionettes. And like, actually I had not seen this, but because my dad is subscribed to my channel, it popped up in his feed because they were like, oh, this guy at least on some level must love fashion a little bit. And he saw it, and my dad like used to want to be a movie director. And so my dad takes an inherent interest in like being the meticulous nature of making videos. And so when he saw the marionettes, he was like, oh, that looks cool. And he clicked on it and like watched through it. And he was like, son, have you seen this video with the puppets? And I was like, no, I haven't. And my dad showed me a Moschino show. It was very bizarre. Beautiful, beautiful show. It excellently done. I strongly recommend that everybody go watch it. But the opening skit where Jeremy Scott is talking to the puppets and like being introduced to like they're just like it's like, oh my goodness, like wow, a puppet show. And they're like, yes, Jeremy, uh we're going to do a presentation for the new collection. And he was like, wow, and you're gonna do it as a puppet show? And they're like, Jeremy, do you mean a fashion show? And he was like, oh my goodness, yes, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. Yes, this is a fashion show. And they were like, that's right, Jeremy, it is a fashion show. and and then they made little puppets for like Anna Wintour and stuff. It's hilarious. Ellie knows how funny it was. All right, y'all. Big serious time. Join the motherfucking Patreon. Patreon.com/BlissFoster. Let's fucking go. I don't even know what this one is. This looks like full behind the scenes kind of stuff. This is my hair thing. My hair is like at that legendary awkward length where it's like too long to look purposeful, but it's too short to be put up. And so I like wear this like right where my hairline starts to kind of like hold it back. Because it's so hard to figure out ways to make your hair look purposeful when it's at the length that it's at right now, which is this length. Ugh. Not very easy to deal with. Anyway. Scrunchie from Gucci, $350. No, I'm not cutting my hair. It is, yeah, in the back it's bordering on a mullet right now. It's a lot. It's all a big lot. There's like some days where I like look at it and I'm like, man, this looks awesome. It looks like a total mess. This looks like really cool. And then other days it's just like I can't make it enough of a mess to look purposeful, and it's really frustrating. I really miss having like super, super long hair and having the undercut, because it was just like throw it into like a low ponytail and it looks like perfect every day. As long as I'm like comb my hair, and then it looks great. Oh my. Pronounce it mulet and it's instantly chic. Oh, where's the pronunciation police? I bet I said mulet wrong. Alido Casino. I'm cremation all the way. It ain't my body anymore, baby. Man, what a 90s looking apartment. 90s ass looking apartment. Would you like to take a seat and listen to my hi-fi stereo system? Where was, I kind of want to go back. This lady here reminded me. I kind of want to go back and look at Joseph Gordon-Levitt again. Where's Joseph Gordon-Levitt exclaiming at that hat? I just want to see it one more time. Oh damn! Oh damn! Oh damn! She really wore the hat. Oh damn! Like this kind of response at a fashion show is hilarious. Like someone being like, oh no! Wow! She really wore the hat. Wow! Oh damn! I love that. Everyone is like either trying to get noticed with their response, or they're just like being like this guy where it's just kind of like, this is my 8th fashion show today. I just want to go home. That is not Joseph Gordon-Levitt, guys. No. Though I love that. My favorite runway like reaction of all time is the one of the guy from 30 Seconds to Mars that's like obsessed with Gucci, of him like exclaiming like really loudly at a certain Gucci look. And then like 6 months later, we saw him in the head to toe Gucci look, like out at a party. Oh, who is this? Yeah, thank you, Daniela. Jared Leto, yes. The, the man who looks like Alessandro Michele if Alessandro Michele was American. This, right you are, NT. This is Gucci. Sex King, Tom Ford. Ooh. I don't think this one's much of a mystery either. Good shit. Hell yeah. Sports. Oh man. The common projects or divans for today. See you, Karad. Peace. No, Brittany. So Brittany Kilpatrick said, I just now saw this as well. My fashion education has kept me so busy. I need to catch up on fashion shows. No, incorrect. You, whatever you're doing with like your formal like education stuff, fashion is so constant. There are so many shows that like it, there is, if you are getting educated right now in fashion, in my opinion, that's what your focus needs to be on. You need to be focused on learning and like creating your own style and like pulling stuff in. I mean, don't stray away completely from looking at other people's work, but like you should never feel like, oh, I'm so behind. I have to like get caught up. Like I don't know about like every show that Perry Ellis put out. I really, oh man, I'm so behind. Don't allow yourself to get caught up in that. That is never going to be a helpful way for you to think about this stuff. There are so many tens of thousands of shows. It is okay for you to not recognize half the stuff you're looking at here today. That is okay. Oh, hell yeah, Christopher. Christopher's sewing his final collection piece for final presentation. Good luck, Chris. You got this, homie. Dang, are y'all really gonna let David Nee be the only person that joins the motherfucking Patreon? I mean, like, you can do that, but wow. Y'all gonna let David take all the shine. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. That's so great. So incredibly great. Beautiful. This is the Margiela show that we're going to cover next. Show is ready. I guess really all I need at this point is a thumbnail. And then right now episodes are coming out every 10 days and we're going to move up to once a week here very soon. I just have to have a certain number of episodes in the backlog in order to bump it up to once a week. But we're going to move up to that very, very soon. And oh, and hey, and another thing that is coming down the pipeline that's going to be really excellent. This is my single favorite Margiela show so far that we've covered. This one, I mean, it does not look like much right here, and I don't want to spoil too much, but like this is the for anybody who is like a Margiela head anyway, this is the screen print collection. This is my favorite one from the beginning of the house to where we are now. This is the best one. I cannot wait to share that with y'all. It's going to be so good. But another thing that's coming down the pipeline very soon in the channel is we're going to do merch, which is going to be very different than other channels' merch. I've never liked the idea of just like It's a tote bag with my name on it. Come and buy it. Like, that's never really been my thing. We have some actually cool stuff that you're gonna want to own, and I'm like really proud of it. We're gonna be pushing that through here really soon. It's gonna be excellent. Ooh, damn. Oh, so Kreppel L said, "What do you guys think about Galliano's work at Margiela?" Um, Mezzarome is almost giving it away about the merch. But yeah, no, pins will be involved. I've seen very few people do pins in a way that I've been like, oh my gosh, I've got to have that. And so basically I'm just going to be like designing like the pins that I've always wanted anyway. And that's going to be one piece of the merch stuff that's coming out. It's going to be really cool. Yeah, so good question. What do you guys think about Galliano's work at Margiela? I get asked that question so much in DMs and on live streams and stuff that like I just went ahead and made a video for it, and it's going to be really good. I'm actually really happy with that video. That's one that's locked away. It's not going to be the next video that comes out because that's going to be Margiela, but it's yeah. John has, yes. Oh my gosh. If anybody in the chat right now has not seen this specific runway show from Rick, the one with like the step dance, it's outstanding. It's so good. And at some point here fairly soon, we're going to look through that during another live stream when we go through another book that I happen to have. It was a birthday gift from someone a while ago. I really don't have that many videos in the vault right now, Mezzarome. I keep wanting to call you Mezzanine. Mezzarome. I really don't have that many videos in the vault right now. I think it's 4 right now. 4, and a 5th one is in editing. Yeah, it's one of those. Earlier this year, I was I was like 8 weeks ahead, and then like the move and lots of other stuff like made it where I lost a lot of that, but we kept it running. New video every 10 days. Every 10 days, I've not missed a single deadline. I've been really happy about that. But yeah, I want to move it up to once a week here as soon as is humanly possible, and we're gonna do that too soon. I just need to get a few more videos locked in the chamber, and then we can upgrade you all to like new video every like Thursday or whatever it'll be. But has anybody seen the new one, the Advice for Young Designers one? Uh-oh, there we go. Wouldn't want to miss that. This is great looking. We have our queen over here. I'm for the 1990s when the supermodel concept first got created, I'm so behind on like knowing all of those girls. Like pretty much I know like Tyra Banks and Giselle, and that might be it. Who was Tyra Banks feuding with? Who was Tyra Banks? There was Giselle, and then there was another supermodel that like she was like, yeah, Naomi Campbell. Thank you. Yeah, Naomi Campbell's another one that oh my gosh, a friend just like texted me that apparently is also in the live stream. Like a bunch of y'all responded, and then a friend texted me and was like, it's Naomi Campbell, dude. Okay, sorry, it's Naomi Campbell. Sorry, guys, my bad. Jeez. Oh, is that not? Oh man, yeah. See that I'm so bad about like supermodels in general. Supermodels now, supermodels then. I don't know. If you showed me side by side pictures, I don't know if I could tell you the difference between Gigi and Bella Hadid. I really don't know if I'd get it right. I earlier this morning I was talking to somebody and I like couldn't get Kendall and Kylie Jenner. I couldn't tell them apart. I was like, oh shit, wait, Kendall is the one on the left? And they were like, no, dude. So it's difficult for me all the time. Oh, Kate Moss. Yeah. And I'd recognize Kate Moss. Linda Evangelista. I recognize that name. I could not pick Linda Evangelista out of a line if I was paid to. And does anyone feel the way too? Too? What's that word? And does anyone feel the way? Maybe that's the word too. I don't know. Off rip. I don't love these clothes. I'm not sure I love this. I like that. I'm not even sure whose collection this is, but I like that piece. But other than that, not in love with it. This stuff's pretty cool. Oh my gosh, that lady looks so much like a younger version of my mom. That's bizarre. My mom looks a lot of younger pictures of Anne de Meulemeester look a lot like younger pictures of my mom as well. Zoop. Wow. Damn. Thank you for the recommendation, Christopher. I will watch that documentary. I love fashion documentaries. My goal is to watch literally all of them because there are few enough of them that you can easily watch all of them. I'm doing pretty good. I'd say I've probably watched a good 75% of all the fashion documentaries at least once, if not multiple times. What's everyone's favorite fashion documentary period? Like if you had to pick a single one. Mine is Dries, believe it or not. I really love Dries. I mean, Margiela, in his own words, kind of wins by default, but like, if I'm trying to be like sort of a little bit more objective and farther out, like I think it's got to be Dries, which is the same director, so still works. Wow, that's beautiful. The McQueen one, yeah, the McQueen one is really good. Oh my gosh. Kreppel said, challenge, go to Starbucks, and when the guy asks you what your name is, say Anne de Meulemeester. I think of the SWAC videos kind of themselves are documentaries. I think of them as documentaries. And really they're brilliant documentaries because in my personal opinion, this is why Dries is my absolute favorite one, is that the best documentaries are ones that show process. They're not just like talking at you about an artist and like giving you biographical information, because honestly, like if you're not contextualizing that stuff, who the fuck cares? Like it means nothing to me that it's like Ralph Simmons was born in 1964. Like who gives a fuck? That does not matter. The only things that matter for biographical stuff is like Ralph Simmons was a teenager when punk music was taking over his home of Belgium. That's the only bio kind of stuff that could even possibly be relating. But most documentaries waste a solid 20 minutes on meaningless information about their young life. It's so goofy. This one time, oh my gosh, this is a little bit of a rabbit trail, but I found this to be so funny. Oh, look, that's beautiful. Wonderful. Great. When I was doing the Off-White video, researching for the Off-White video, for anyone who has not seen that video has an incredibly low number of views. You should go watch it. I actually love that Off-White collection. It's like one of the first runway analysis videos that I ever did. But when I was researching for that, I had to watch this documentary about Princess Diana, because that whole show was about Princess Diana. And I know very little about the Princess Di, so I was watching this documentary, and this whole long ass section about her childhood that was just exactly what I'm talking about. It was totally pointless information. It meant nothing. But they were trying so hard to make it seem like the events of her childhood were somehow significant to her adult life. So they were like interviewing this woman that was like her nanny, who's like a very old woman now. And there's this ridiculous part where she is telling this very long story that was like, I remember one time the young Princess Diana was swimming in a swimming pool. And there was a slide to the side of the swimming pool. And she went up to the top of the slide. And she sat at the top and she said, look at me, I'm going to slide down now. And that's really what she was like for most of her life. She truly was such a passionate woman. And it was just like, oh my gosh, can we get to young adult life, please? You are telling the story of a 6-year-old saying a thing at the top of a slide. Like, this is so goofy. Like, please, can we move on to like her becoming like a princess or like something else? This is really beautiful. I love that. Yeah, you like that? That was my old English lady who is connected to royalty accent. This is fantastic. And look, it's Florence Welch. Ladies and gentlemen, Florence Welch. Yeah, I've seen The Gospel According to Andre Leon Talley. I did not love that documentary as much as I liked the book. Andre is such a great writer. I mean, I've not read a ton of his Vogue stuff, and I made the very silly assumption. I turned out to be like about as wrong as is humanly possible with this, but like I assume because by the time I had gotten into fashion, Andre Leon Talley was an icon kind of. So like I knew Andre Leon Talley from like him being like on the red carpet during the Met Gala and like interviewing people and like from the Vogue podcast and stuff. Like that was the majority of my exposure to his work. And so my impression of what Andre Leon Talley was is that it's like, oh, this is a very fabulous man who's very stylish and he seems to be like pretty knowledgeable and he's just very charismatic and he's good at keeping the ball rolling and keeping things interesting for television events. Like he's like a host sort of. And he ended up and then when I'm like reading this book, his autobiography, I'm like, oh no, it turns out that Andre is like an incredible writer and that like he only the only reason that he like had his job at Vogue is because he came in and he demonstrated a encyclopedic level of knowledge about the history of fashion. I mean, the level of detail that this man was able to come up with off the top of his head about what he was looking at like in a given collection is just otherworldly. Like I aspire to be half of the wealth of knowledge that Andre is still. I mean, the man's in his mid 70s and it's still like you show him anything and he's like, oh yeah, that's very like mid 16th century like Portuguese like royalty, very king whatever. Like just he's able to just summon immediate reference sources for everything. It's insane. But yeah, I did not like the documentary about him nearly as much as the book because Andre seems to be at his strongest when he's writing. And so I really love the Chiffon Trenches. I wasn't in love with the documentary about his life. Though the one cool thing about the documentary was that they played these old tapes that Andre used to do. What he used to do when he would go to runway shows, like the old like Carl Chanel shows and stuff, when he was a much younger man, is he would just bring a microphone and a tape recorder with him. And he would just like sit there and like as soon as the show would start, he would press record on the thing and he would just start stream of consciousness, just like off the top of his head, just say just things about what he was looking at. And that's how he would take notes. And in the documentary, they would be playing these, some of these like old recordings of what he was saying. And it was just like, damn, that would be, first of all, impossible at contemporary runway shows. There's no way you could go in there and just be talking the whole time. And it really demonstrated that runway shows have changed a whole lot. They used to be a lot different, much more like chaotic, much more like kind of social events. And see you, Kreppel. Love you. But also it just demonstrated that it was just like, dang, this guy was very knowledgeable. He did not need show notes. Very, very impressive. Hey, let me tell y'all something. Patreon.com/BlissFoster is the website that you would want to go to if you were like, dang, Bliss's content. I love Bliss's content. Damn, that's insane. That's so beautiful. Bliss's content is like my favorite stuff. I watch a lot of his videos. I find them to be very helpful and informative. You would go to patreon.com/BlissFoster and you would sign up for the Patreon if you were like, dang, I really want Bliss to continue to be able to do this and not have to give it up to pursue a real job at some point. That's what you would go if you had those feelings. Ellie said, "Don't mind me, just furiously screen capping." Yeah, there's only one place in Paris that has this high of a ceiling and can do this thorough a sets, and that's Chanel. Chanel, baby. Oh, look, it's my favorite Alexander McQueen show. I was doing a brainstorm with someone recently that was like meant to like kind of help me sort of come up with new episode ideas and stuff that are not just like runway analyses of Margiela and Rick Owens. And I was like, at one point, I was like, oh, you know what? Let's just write down in the notes, like, make a Voss analysis video, you asshole. And so that's my reminder to myself that I just need to. Okay, so we're not going to do too much nudity just in case anybody's at work or anybody has a parent around. I know what Steven said. What an image to join in on. Yeah. So in this runway show, we see dozens of naked women vacuuming. Very emotional. Very thinky clothes. And then we turn the page to actual thinky clothes. This show is actually like 161 said, "Thanks, Bliss, I'm grounded." Yeah, this is Hussein Chalayan.
Hello, my name is Hussein Chalayan. I'm here to talk to you today about some of the artwork and runway pieces that I've shown over the years in my time as a fashion designer.
Yeah, Nate is right. My jaw dropped when the model put on the coffee table dress. It's insane. And especially like his whole thing about like it's about like refugees and like this decision that you have to make when you decide like we have to flee the country. It's like people who are like saying like, okay, we're fleeing on foot. We have to take only the things that are the most important to us, and we have to leave literally the rest of our material life behind. And so he's talking about like how like, because all of the furniture, the coverings for the furniture, and like this table is actually a skirt because it like it's hard to tell you if you haven't seen the video, but this like folds up into a skirt essentially. And so it's about like refugees like having the very like somber time of having to pack only what is the most necessary parts of their lives to take with them, and like having to decide like which family heirlooms can we take. Like this dresser was given to us like by like your grandfather, and like his father made it, and like we have to leave that because we don't have any way of taking a dresser with us because we have to flee on foot. And like the kind of the pain and difficulty of the refugee situation that goes beyond what the news covers. It's very intense, cool stuff. There's our boy. There's Lee. Oh. I really liked in the anniversary of Alexander McQueen's passing, when I made the video about his life, and I was just reading people's tributes. I had people that are on the Patreon write tributes to Lee's life and like talk about like their favorite single show or their favorite single piece from him. And one guy submitted a actually I don't know their gender. One person submitted a really touching bit of writing about this specific show. It was really nice. Very, very touching. Wow, Brittany said, I met Andre at his book signing. Hang on, let me read the full thing. I met Andre at his book signing, and hearing him recount fashion history in person is something I will never forget. Yeah, he tricks. He's sort of, so he and Luke Haute-Lamode are very similar in my opinion, where like they'll kind of trick you a little bit. They'll make you think. Joan Rivers was kind of like this too. They're such naturally, Andre is such a naturally entertaining person. He's naturally like so funny, and he's such like a goofball and stuff that like he'll kind of trick you into thinking that you're just sitting there like having fun with him. But then he'll like in the process of being silly and goofy, he'll say like an enormous number of like factual information about fashion, and you're just kind of like, damn, I was laughing and learning. Wow, wow. It's impressive stuff. Damn, that guy over to the right really looks like Dad. That really looks like Dad. Oh, I don't think we have to guess on this one. I do not recognize this image, and I am going to bet money that it's JPG. Chair says, shout out, Dad. Yes. Fuck yeah. Oh, is it Walter Van Beerdendonck? Dang, I guessed wrong. It's the other colorful madman of fashion. Dang. Even straight boys got a shout. Pretty hot. Pretty hot. Behold. Oh, Halo said, do you know what time your merch will be coming out? No, we don't have like a date for that yet, but it's gonna be good. And it's gonna be in the near future, probably like sometime like close to the new year or whatever. Just need to make sure I have like initial funds for it, and need to plan everything out and release stuff. We might release slowly, we might release all at once. I don't know. We don't have like super concrete plans for it yet, but like I've decided that it is definitely going to be happening, and I have some ideas that I think are going to make it stuff that you're going to be happy that you own, not just stuff where it's like you're buying it to support and that's kind of it. It'll be, what I'm hoping is that there will be people who are like, damn, that's like actually awesome. What is that? And they'll be like, oh, it's merch for this YouTuber that I follow. His name's Bliss Foster. And like the person will be like, I don't know who that is, but I'm going to buy that because it's great looking. Yes. More excellence. Dang. This shows specifically how much skin glue was used to make sure that we did not have a problem during this runway show. Probably a lot of skin glue. Also, that would be, not skin glue. Guys, what's the stuff that like, I forget what it's called, but it's like, it's the thing that basically makes it where like things like panties and like bandeau bras and stuff are going to like guaranteed they're going to stay in place, even if like liquid latex, thank you. That like the stuff, like, I mean, because in the process of like moving this person or whatever, it'd be pretty easy for this to get wedgied pretty quickly. But that's actually like staying put, and that's staying put. Imagine there was a lot of that, which surprise, surprise, that stuff is not fun to remove. I don't even know what this is. This looks like trash. I don't even know why people make shit like this. All right, let's move on. Oh my gosh. That was a joke, obviously. It's Martin. I love that. Iris Van Herpen. Look at this. They're suspended. They're suspended in a womb. A womb. Suspended in the womb. Y'all better be seriously looking forward to other live streams, because guess who got the Iris Van Herpen complete runway show lookbook? The guy up here. All right, more Chilean. We're gonna move on so nobody else gets grounded. All right. Everybody else said that they were going to let everybody know, but it's The Spectacle of Fashion by Alix Brown. It's a Rizzoli book. The Spectacle of Fashion. Y'all, hold it so I can screenshot. All right, hang on. Ready? Anybody who wants a screenshot, that's the book. I got this one for super, super cheap. I don't know how expensive it's going to be. The person I bought it from was just a single person. It's not, there's no guarantee that you're going to find this super cheap. I found this for like $19 or something, and I got it. Then I think I looked another time, and it ended up being like insanely expensive. So that time that the first fashion school video that I did, where I was promoting like Gods and Kings and Amatura, like all my favorite fashion books. But the last book that I promoted in that video was it's a textbook called Fashion at the Edge, and I found my copy for literally like $26 or something. I just found it on Amazon. It was a single seller. They didn't have multiple copies of it, just one copy of it. It was $26. I got it and I was like, damn, this book is incredible. Wow, like so much incredible information in here. And so I recommended it, and then everyone was pissed because like everyone was like, oh my gosh, like, oh, okay, 20 to 50 bucks. Okay. Yeah, I definitely paid less than that, but I mean, it is really beautiful. The only thing, guys, is that like this, I'm not sure I would pay $50 for this personally, because it's like, it's just photos of the shows. There's a little thing up front that, is a little intro thing, 5 pages. And there's a thing in the back that's just a glossary. Well, I guess that might make it worth it. It's a glossary of like what the specific show was and like kind of reading about it. We're going to save that for the next time. We're going to go through the rest of the fashion books that I've gotten over the next few live streams, and then we'll circle back to this one, and we're going to do a guessing game about what each of the shows are. But yeah, I'm not sure I would pay $50 for this one, but wow, damn. And what do we got? Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, so sick. So sick. Wow, best possible answer to what's behind the sheet. Oh, wait, you bought 3 of them on eBay for $14? Why did you buy 3 of them? Let other people have them. So iconic. But yeah, go. Search eBay, find wherever you can to get it for cheap if you want the book real bad. Also, guys, I was pretty surprised. A lot of the Rick books, like, they're not crazy expensive. I assumed when those books were coming out that they were going to be like $200 or something crazy, but they really weren't. I think that Rick book is like $50 maybe. Oh, who said the thing a second ago? It was like, oh, Pizza Gadavi. Pizza Gadavi, we can be friends. We already are, Pizza Gadavi. She's like, girl, are you taking notes? Girl. Queen, stop. Yeah, we stand a note-taking queen. This was surely a runway show where they were doing something with the front row, because none of these women all look like models. This does not look like journalists on the front row. There's some pretty foxy journalists. I don't know if they're all that foxy. Should Duke continue watching this, or should he clean his back? Duke, I'm going to say you should continue watching this. We're not going much farther. You should definitely continue watching this. Yeah, Ellie said fashion is hilarious if you think about it. It really is. It honestly, like, one thing that I like a lot about the Throwing Fits guys is that they Lawrence said this thing like years ago, back when it was still the podcast that shall not be named. Lauren said this wonderful thing where he was like, if you really love it, shit all over it. And, and he was like, all I do is just make fun of fashion. And it's honestly like rather true. If you can't have some sort of sense of humor about it, it's like, it's goofy as hell. Like, come on. Like the guys who like clown on Rick Owens fans the most usually are the people who own a shit ton of Rick Owens. Like you gotta be in the culture, and you gotta be able to be at least a little bit goofy about it. A lot is going on over here. Just a whole lot happening. That's an interesting point, Nate. He said, I think the furniture is more of haute couture line rather than clothing as Rick sees it. Is that a quote from Rick at any point? I'm not sure I've heard him say that, but that would make a lot of sense. That like, I mean, because he doesn't do haute couture. All of the pieces that Rick shows on the runway are pieces that are getting turned into products and that will be sold in stores. There is no runway only with Rick. Everything is produced, which is pretty crazy. That is a rare thing. I don't know if anybody else does that outside of haute couture. Obviously, in haute couture, everything is to be sold. No questions about who that is. That's a pretty easy one. He did say that in a video interview. That's really interesting, Oscar. Thank you. So guys, all of the live videos do get saved, but they are Patreon only. So, I mean, it's a great reason to join the Patreon. There's also on the Patreon, you get access to the live streams where I went through my entire closet, where I went through every single piece of clothing that I own one by one. It was divided up over 3 different live streams, and I think the total amount of time there is 7 hours. It was just me taking all the time that I needed to be like, this is this jacket. I got it from this place. I really like this thing for these reasons. This is kind of the story of this from the collection that it was in. Like me just going into as much detail as is necessary for every single piece. I'm incredibly proud of those live streams. They were a enormous amount of fun to do. They were awesome. I loved them. Yeah, those were great. And if you want to watch them, is patreon.com/blissfoster, baby. Oh. Good for you, Ellie. Keeping the style flashy, shiny, colorful. That's good. Okay, so here's a super good question from Christopher. What is the point of doing runway only pieces like Jacquemus does? So in a lot of cases, y'all, Rick and like Dries are people who have been in the industry long enough that they have kind of carte blanche access to just about anything that they want to make. The factories that they work with have great relationships with them, and it's pretty much just like, man, you just tell me what you want to make and we will make it here at the factory. We'll do whatever you want. In a lot of cases, most designers do not have access to that. They'll come up with something and they'll make a sample in their studio of something, but they in a lot of cases maybe even send it to the factory and say, we'd really like to make this, and the factory just says, there is no way for us to make that. The answer is no. And so for a lot of brands that do the like one, like this was only on the runway kind of thing, and Jacquemus is probably in this position because Jacquemus is they're great, but they're a fairly new brand. And they probably do not have access to the absolute most ideal factory that they would want to work with. And so there just is some stuff, y'all, that, I mean, you make it and it's just like, there is no way to mass produce this. You want 50 made of these. I mean, either you're making 50 of them by hand at your studio, or there's no other option because we don't have the machinery. We don't have the machinery settings. We don't have the specific like buttonhole, like alteration machine piece thing. Like they're there's a million ways to create a garment that's very simple. There usually is only one way to make a garment that's very complex and specific. And just sometimes they show it to their factory, and their factory says, yeah, good luck, bud, you're not doing that here. Wow, I wonder where this is. I wonder where they did this runway show, like where it was held, what city, what part of the city. Wow, I guess we'll never know. It's a mystery. Wow. Yeah, so Christopher said, so because of the lack of mass production of ready-to-wear pieces, the complex pieces that are maybe too technical or couture for them to make, they become purely editorial. Yes, they go into the archive or they just stay editorial. Hey, what up? Stephen Bauer just joined the motherfucking Patreon. Stephen, thank you. You're a kind soul, Stephen. Stephen is supporting the independent fashion journalism that he loves. I think we can all agree. Stephen Bauer, the GOAT. Truly the GOAT. No mystery there. I wonder who made this collection. That's my dad. Dang, Christopher, you're so popular now. So Jack, we just covered this a little bit ago, but Jack said, will you be posting this to your channel? I came in late. Jack, all of the live streams are posted onto the Patreon. So the live stream itself is always open for absolutely everybody, anyone who wants to watch and join in and stuff. But the actual, the playback of the lives, oh, I wonder who this was. The playback of the lives is only for the paying patrons, which is very easy to access. Patreon.com/BlissFoster, baby. Starts at $3 a month, which is chump change. Literally buy me a coffee. Buy me a nice coffee once a month, and you're in. That's it. Also, like, the thing that, like, looking back, the thing about this show that I, like, remember most distinctly is that, like, I, like, for a very brief time fell in love with this woman. She is, like, the GOAT. I kind of hate that she doesn't get used for much modeling stuff anymore. She kind of moved away from it. But she's our short queen, our petite queen. Another one where it's like, no mystery. No mystery here. Yeah, Nameless had a really good question. Would you ever start a series analyzing Margiela by Galliano? I think there's a lot to unpack. I agree, there is a lot to unpack. We'll move on so that we don't get anybody in trouble. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack with Galliano stuff. I don't know if there is a way to do that in a way that's better than the SWAC videos are already doing, because the SWAC stuff is honestly, like, for you guys who haven't seen SWAC, like, so for people who don't know what that is, SWALK, which stands for Sealed with a Loving Kiss, and those are videos that, fingers crossed, Galliano's Margiela is going to be coming out with every single season now. I really, really hope that keeps up. And they're 50 minutes, like 50 minutes, of them just explaining in about as thorough detail as they possibly can the inspiration and, like, the individual pieces in the collection and, like, the storytelling that's being done. It is some of the most thorough brand storytelling that exists right now in fashion. It is so fucking thorough. It's brilliant. I love it. I cannot say good enough things about the SWALK series. They're great. But because of the existence of the SWALK series and because they are so beautifully filmed and edited and narrated and everything, I don't think that there's anything that I can offer with those that's going to go beyond what those SWALK videos do. I think that those are it's about as good as it gets. And not only that, but we also have the In Memory of podcast, which is John Galliano just going into the podcast studio, sitting down and talking about each of his collections. And those are also brilliant. I mean, John Galliano needs to be reading my audiobooks or something. He has such a engaging voice. And I mean, it's very fun to listen to his little cartoonish British accent, which is the best. I love that. Oh, Scott said, for those of us who don't know, can you please say the collection versus It's Obvious? I'm trying not to do that because we're going to loop back around to this and we're going to do a little guessing game about each of the collections and then look them up in the answer sheet that's in the back of the book. But that will not be today. That will be for the future. See, we have little explanations for everything. It's actually saying which collections they are and then which little explanation about them. Jack, holy shit, Jack came through. Damn, Jack joined the motherfucking Patreon. Jack, you're a G. Thank you so much. Damn, Jack. Okay. All right, Jack. Jack is truly the GOAT. The Spectacle of Fashion. Last chance to screenshot it if you want to get it. It's I think people were saying it was somewhere anywhere between $14 and $50, depending on where you buy it from. But it's a really pretty book. Ellie is correct. I hope you guys paid attention. There will be a test, and that test will be 20% of your grade. So let's put everything away. Let's get out a pen, not a pencil, and let's go ahead and get these passed out. We're gonna need to put backpacks at the back of the room, please. That'd be great. Thank you, everybody. So before we wrap this up, everybody, I want to take this book real quick. I love this book. This is one of my favorite fashion books. Yeah, Nancy, we're not doing an open book test. No. Gonna need to put everything at the back of the room. Thanks so much, Nance. Thank you. JK, y'all. Y'all the best. Jacqueline said skips class. That's hilarious. A Fashion History of the 20th Century. I love this book so much. This has been so useful for me. This is outstanding little book. The Kyoto Costume Institute, those cats have one of the best fashion collections other than the Metropolitan Costume Institute. It's outstanding. I really like this specific Final Home, baby. Love Final Home. So in the back of the book, we have a lot of stuff. I mean, this is undercover. We have a lot of really cool stuff in the contemporary section. The whole book is great. I mean, even the parts that are, historic fashion things, it's still just just some really beautiful stuff. But there's one thing that I wanted to read us to kind of close us out that I think would be really nice. It's a Comme des Garçons description. And see, we have Junya Watanabe, Yoji Yamamoto, a whole bunch of really good stuff. We have our boy Marty. Lots of Marty. Really good. So much Marty. Where is my little Comme des Garçons dress that I love? Love sharing this little section about this. Here we go. So, little fashion history thing here. Lumps and Bumps collection. That's one where just these kind of weird, just bumps were all over the dresses and stuff in the collection. And I really like their little statement about this. They keep these little summary statements throughout the book that are incredibly helpful for understanding the context that they're coming into. I mean, the writing in this book really is what makes it truly great. The photography is obviously beautiful. The dresses are great, but the really compelling thing is what's said. So I'm going to read this out loud real quick. Not what has been, let's lift this up a little bit so I can see. Not what has been seen before, not what has been repeated. Instead, new discoveries that look towards the future, that are liberated and lively. This was the message written by Comme des Garçons in the spring of 1997. Shown here are outfits with down pads sewn inside, creating irregular mounds on the surface of the clothes. The shape of the body is deformed by the clothes, and this shook up the standardized concept people have of their bodies. 20th century fashion discovered the body. However, the clothes seemed to conform to the shape of the body. Rei Kawakubo tried to free the clothes from their enslavement to the body and discovered this new shape. I really like I like that as context. That's really helpful. This book is it's a gold mine, y'all. We should do like a live stream where we just go through and we just learn about each of these more contemporary pieces that kind of are more in the vein of stuff that we're all familiar with, like Yoji, and I mean that's Issei, and like who is this? Yeah, that's more Issei. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. like just truly crazy stuff. More Rei, lots of Japanese stuff. Yeah, and then stuff that I'm not even familiar with. What is this? Tokyo Kumagari. Not familiar with that at all. Karl Lagerfeld at Chloe. Oh, your fashion archive is here. What up? Haven't talked to you in a while. How's it going? Wait, what's this new sub thing? What are you guys talking about? Oh my gosh, your fashion archive. You said Lumpy Space Princess Comb Show. That's excellent. The Pattern Magic series are really good. Those are buried somewhere in my bookshelf. I'm not sure I can go grab those right now, but this book is another really excellent one. Oh, hell yeah. Everybody should subscribe to your fashion archive. Oh, I love you too, bro. I am well. I hope you're well too. That's one that's definitely worth getting. Don't go cop a La Croix until they start sponsoring the show. Like La Croix like slowly kept like creeping farther and farther into the screen. It's like, no free money for La Croix yet, except for all the free money I give them for their product, their beautiful, wonderful product that keeps me sane. This was lovely. I really appreciate you all. So hang on, let's see if we can turn this shit around. Oh, what up? Hi. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for joining me. This was lovely. I'll talk to you all soon. Dang, this is like, I'm looking at this on my screen. This is like terrifying looking. It's like, what's all this stuff around me? Got like mysterious plants and like cords and wires and stuff going everywhere. Hey, go join the motherfucking Patreon. It is $3 a month and you're supporting the independent fashion journalism. This is my job. This is what I do. I literally, I wake up and I learn about fashion and I try to help other people learn about fashion as well. If you like that, if you want to stick around, gotta support it. I love you all a ton. I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for joining me. This was so much fun. Everybody have a safe return from whatever holiday things you're up to. I will talk to you all soon.